Come with me as I paint my knockoff Vivienne Westwood shirt Sand Swastika for my Nobu cosplay from Nana. So I decided to do this version of the two Muslim shirts that Nobu wears since it's much more iconic. The first thing I did was draw the inverted crucified Jesus Christ. For this I used a water soluble pen which basically fades with water, or if you leave it for like 72 hours it fades with air as well. The initial goal was to paint the shirt exactly how it appeared in the anime, but as I did my research, I realized that it wasn't just some random Eiffel Tower shape, it was actually representing a real shirt design that was protesting dictators around the world, it stood against fascism, and it was denouncing old conservative values. More specifically, the Jesus was a reference to the Sex Pistols song Anarchy in the UK. And this shirt was meant to be inflammatory, but of course the design was toned down and simplified for the anime. So instead of being anime accurate, I wanted to spice it up a little, and I was like, alright, I'm gonna try to draw Jesus Christ. This was my first time using fabric paint, so this was also an experiment to see how the paint felt, how it applies, and how the colors mixed. Now, there were very limited colors, so I bought the closest green I could find as well as a French gray to both warm up the green and also dull the intensity, since it was a pretty bright color. And at this point it was just tracing, so that was pretty chill. I did find that the paint takes a lot of application, a lot of layering, so it's very tedious, but I'm okay with tedious. Tedious is fine, I'm a patient guy. Then for the prohibition sign, I basically looked around the house for a large circular object, and I ended up using a bathroom trash can. Very cool, very punk, I know. And again, there were very limited colors, so I had this really bright blue, and then I decided to add a touch of black to basically tone it down. But to my surprise, the black was actually a dark gray and it wasn't just a container color. It was also very pigmented, so as you can see, I was scrambling to try and get the right tone. And I was basically trying to find this middle ground where it didn't look like an ashy blue or a super dark gray. I also decided to make it look a bit more stylized and faded, so I tried not to make it too perfect looking. Not gonna lie, I was a little sad that Jesus' twig and berries got covered up because I did work hard in the area. Then lastly, for the destroy section, I just used the mixture that had a higher ratio of the dark gray color and less of the bright blue color. Destroy references a statement from McLaren, the promoter for the Sex Pistols, where he says, "You have to destroy in order to create," which makes a bit more sense if you look at the original shirt designs. I just don't think I'm allowed to post those on TikTok. And this is the final thing. I am very happy with it. Few notes though, don't use random paper or brown bags underneath the shirt to stop the bleeding, because the paint will stick to that and you could risk tearing your shirt like I almost did. Use something like parchment paper to keep the shirt safe. And of course, don't forget to let the paint set for 24 hours before you iron it with a press cloth with no steam, and then place it in the dryer to make sure that everything is nicely heat set. That way it won't come off in the wash.